Once it is set up, we can start.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you all so much. Sorry, today we didn't go for any introduction. Prabhuji has already joined. Sorry for that 3 minutes delay. Thank you so much for all of your association. Thank you, Achintya Gopesh Prabhu, for accepting our request, coming on the call. Before I hand over the call to you, I'll read Srila Prabhupada's quote for today. This is November 3rd. Prabhupada said in Vrindavan in 1972. Sometimes a person, the proprietor of the house after death, remains in that house as serpent, sometimes as dog, sometimes as tree. Being too much attached to the possession, they cannot get better life. And sometimes we can get the body of a hog and monkey in Vrindavan also. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you for your association. You can take over now. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Thank you for this opportunity to share among devotees the wonderful pastimes as elaborated in Chaitanya Bhagavat. We will do the invocation prayers and then we will begin. Om Ajnanatimirānandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktāya Tadbhaktāya Namo Jayatam Surutur Pango Mamandamatirgatihi Mat Sarvasvabhadam Bojo Radham Dhamma. Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone to today's class on Chaitanya Bhagavat. We are reading from Chaitanya Bhagavat Antya Leela from the third chapter, 3.61 to 3.81. So just give me a minute, I'll project the slokas and then we will begin. Yes. So we are at this wonderful Antya Leela pastimes where we know that the pastimes in Antya Leela discussed are Sriman Mahaprabhu's Sannyas Leela and especially how he spreads the holy name, spreads Krishna Prema and delivers multiple people. And in that pastime, we are now at the house of Vidya Vachaspati, the brother of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, near Mayapur. And here we are reading the pastime where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, on his way back, is residing in Vidya Vachaspati's house for 5 days. And there, millions and millions of people come to take darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they do kirtan, and they are all delivered. They are all so wonderfully ecstatic on seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then one day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all of these people are outside Vidyavachaspati's home and they want to have darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has already left from the house of Vidyavachaspati without even telling Vidyavachaspati. He has left because of all the crowds and so many people coming. And he has gone to Kuliagram, which is on the other bank of Ganges. And now all these crowds are requesting Vidyavachaspati because they believe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is hiding in the house and he is hiding Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inside this house. They are all requesting Vidyavachaspati to bring Chaitanya Mahaprabhu out so that they can have darshan. So that is the place there when we are entering this Leela. So we will read the verses and then we will discuss. And we will also try and discuss different perspectives and angle of vision and different pastimes which are similar. So we are reading from Chaitanya Bhagavata-Antya Khanda 3.361. Katokshane sarvaloka dekha paiya vachaspati reo bole mukharahaiya. When after waiting some time the people could not still see the Lord, they began to speak harshly about Vachaspati. Gare lukaya Vachaspati nyasi mani amasabha bandhanena kahiya mityavani. Vachaspati has hidden the crushed jewel of sannyasis in his house and he is trying to deceive us with some lies. From Vidyavachaspati's house, Lord secretly went to Kulia, which is a short distance from Vidyavachaspati's house, which is situated on the other side of the Ganges in present-day Navadip. But the people being eager to see Mahaprabhu did not believe Vachaspati's words and considered him miserly. Text 363. Amara tari leva uhara kona dukha, apaneri tari matra yehi kona sukha. What is the difficulty for him if we are delivered? What kind of happiness is to be delivered alone? So, the three verses we'll discuss and then we'll go to the next verse. So, we are seeing a very unique situation here where the Lord has secretly left to Kulia. And all the devotees were very eager to see the Lord. They, out of their eagerness and out of desperation that Lord is not being seen, they are speaking so-called ill of Vachaspati. They are accusing him that you are hiding the sannyasi, and they are also asking, what is this? Why is that you are stopping us from being delivered? And what is the happiness in being just you alone being delivered? Because the mood in Vrindavan, the mood of a Vaishnava is always to be with everybody and together go back home, back to God. So they are saying, what is the point in being delivered alone? What is that mood? Now, we have an interesting situation. One, everybody is devotee, but the devotees are accusing another devotee of hiding the Lord and stopping from getting mercy. Now, why is that the Lord is doing such a pastime where one of his devotees is being accused? In fact, the Lord always, when the Lord appears, all his devotees feel so much joy and they become so much connected. They are working as one spirit with one love. But here, seemingly, there is dissension between devotees. And it has all been caused by the Lord. So there are many questions that we need to, of course, from an intellectual point of view, many questions as to why is the Lord doing this? Why is somebody like Vachaspati being accused? Why is that the devotees, though they are right in front of the Lord, are actually quarreling and actually accusing each other? What is that? What is the reason for such pastimes? There are many intellectual questions. There are also from the emotional heart, we can understand the pain that Vachaspati is going through, that he is now, first of all, he's facing dual problems. First, as you will have seen in the previous slokas, Mahaprabhu was with him in his house and he was feeling so much bliss, and Mahaprabhu has now disappeared. So he is suffering from separation from the Lord in Viraha. And when his heart is already suffering, then the other devotees are also accusing him. That is making him suffer even more. And then as a Grihastha, he doesn't know why such an exalted sannyasi has left. Has he committed some offense? What has happened? So all these worries are completely churning his heart. And this is also a wonderful pastime of the Lord. So we can see there are many spiritual, emotional turmoil happening in the heart of Vachaspati. We can also see how spiritual turmoil is happening on the heart, in the hearts of the devotees who are so eager to see the Lord. Oh, the Lord has actually come to our village, and they're just going to have darshan, and then they are not getting the darshan. And so they are so eager, and how their eagerness is overflowing. We can also see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has hidden himself and not wanting all this so much commotion, crowd, but there is also many reasons why he has hidden himself. So there is a lot of emotions that are happening also. And then from a egoistic heart point of view, I'm not talking about false ego, I'm talking about emotional mind, intellectual mind, egoistic mind. There is also this entire thing of the Brahminical ego. A Brahmana can never lie. Brahmana can never lie, or he doesn't like to be. He doesn't like to lie. Brahmana can lie, but generally Brahmanas don't lie. And if a Brahmana is accused, that too falsely, of lying, as he is accused now, as you will see in the further verses, saying that you are actually hiding, and you would have seen, and you are actually trying to deceive us with some lies, then that is not possible. It is possible for a Brahmana to lose money, to lose, etc., but he cannot bear the accusation of being a liar. Kshatriya cannot face the accusation of being a coward. So similarly, there are many. It is not ego, but it is the characteristic of that particular varna. So here Vidya Vachaspati is also undergoing that turmoil. He is being accused of lying. So all of these states, we will try and see some pastimes, and we'll try and relish what the Lord is trying to do. But the first question is, why is the Lord doing this? So let me throw open this question so that we can discuss that. Why do you think the Lord is doing such a pastime where one of his devotees is actually getting accused? What could be the reason? Anybody wants to share? Yes, ma'am. Yes, Nutan Mataji, yes.
I'm sure. Prabhuji, I feel that because Lord later glorifies all the devotees whom he has put into this situation. Most
Yes.
other stories also, whenever I have seen. And at last, it is them we glorify. Means now, in this case, Vachaspati will be glorified later, is what I feel. I have not yet read.
Yes. That is a very nice perspective. In fact, it's a very glorious perspective. You will see that whenever a devotee is put in trouble, ultimately he is glorified. Shriman Madhavendra Puri, he was told to go and fetch the chandan. He felt he has seen, he has desired the prasadam kheer of the Lord before it was offered to the Lord. He was put into trouble, but later he was glorified. Right? So that's a very nice perspective. So yes, so whenever devotees put in trouble, ultimately the attempt is to glorify. Yes, that is correct. Any other perspective?
To increase the intensity of separation in the heart of people who came to see Mahaprabhu.
Yes, that is also a very important point. That it helps in increasing the intensity. That is one of the primary things that happens to increase the intensity. Yes, Pravanand Prabhu.
Adhanar Pranam Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, who is Raso Vaisaha. So
That's
he
all.
has all kinds of rasas. That's how we can also take that way.
Yes,
Adhanar
yes,
Pranam Prabhuji.
yes. He can, yes, very nice. He can enjoy all kinds of rasa. Yes, that is also true. Nutan Mataji, you wanted to say something else?
Is it because he's trying to test us? How do we react in such difficult situation?
Yeah. So he also sees the reaction. Yes, that is true. And he also takes pleasure in seeing the reaction. So there are many perspectives, that is correct. But it is also essential, like Mataji said, it is also essential to, uh, deepen and like a iron is put in the fire, and the more it burns in the fire, it turns golden. So, which pastimes can we remember where we are in a similar situation? Can we remember some pastimes where a similar or some kind of similar situation has happened?
Krishna leaving Rasa dance.
Yes, yes, that is one of the stories I say in most of the lectures. Krishna leaving the rasa dance. Yeah, Pratap Rudra not getting the mercy, very nice. Pratap Rudra Maharaj not getting the mercy of Mahaprabhu, that is also very nice. So you will see that in the rasa dance, like Mataji said, Krishna, all the gopis, after so much, and I have said this past time multiple times, of different types, different sects of gopis, somewhere in Dandakaranya, and they 10,000 years they were doing tapasya, ears have been bitten off by the demons, hands, legs have been bitten off, but then they see Lord Ram, and so much bliss, they say that we want to be like Sita Devi with you. Then Lord Ram says, you come as gopis. So they come as the Frishchari gopis in Vrindavan. Then there are Mithilachari gopis, different new sect of devotees who are going to be trained to enter Golok Vrindavan are assembling as new gopis. However, the eternal gopis like Radharani, Vishaka, Lalita Saki, Vishaka Saki are coming to train these gopis. So they also enter the pastime. They also behave like they are among the gopis, but they then help train these gopis. So after a long time, the new gopis are seeing Krishna going to the forest with all the cows, and that Madan Mohan attracts them. The gopis, Purvaraga happens, and then the gopis during Govardhan Leela, they can only see Krishna in some three hours, 2 praharas. But in Govardhan Leela, 7 days they're continually slaving at Krishna. They fall in love. It becomes more intense. Then they do what is going to happen in the next 3 days. Kartyani Vrat is going to start. They uh, they pray to Katyayani Mahamaye Mahadevi, Dukshari Nandasuna, Sutam Devim, Patim Me Kurte Nama. They prayed for Krishna to be their husband. Then the Vastraharan Leela happens. Shirharan Leela, Krishna steals the garments. And then after we are finally accepted in the Rasa dance where they connect with Krishna. The Rasa happens. But when they start the Rasa dance, of course, first Krishna tells them to go away. Then they exchange very sweet, intense words. And then the Raslila starts. And then what happens? that Radharani disappears from the last Leela. When Radharani disappears, of course, some people say that it is because of Man, Radharani disappears, but Radharani also has another purpose. Some people say that Radharani feels he is dancing with all the gopis, so she disappears. But actually, Radharani leaves the Ras Leela, where all the gopis and Krishna are there, and goes into the forest. And when the pleasure potency of the Lord leaves, when Radharani leaves, then there is no Ras. So there is no pleasure. And Krishna also then disappears. And Krishna takes the hand of Radharani and goes into the forest. So all the gopis are following and they are seeing the footsteps. And they are seeing 4 sets of footsteps. And at that point, they sing the words Aradhanam Sarvesham, saying this gopi is the most fortunate gopi because she must have worshipped the Lord the most because the Lord has left all of us and he's going behind her. After some time, they see 2 steps, but very deeper footsteps of Krishna. So then they say that maybe Krishna has lifted this gopi in his arms. And then they keep going ahead. When Radharani sees that these gopis are actually following, then Radharani says, of course, the story is that then Radharani becomes, externally the story is that Radharani becomes very proud, so Krishna leaves her and goes. But actually the inner heart of Radharani is that she tells Krishna that if the gopis, the whole purpose of this Leela is to deliver these new gopis and intensify their love for Krishna. But at this point in time, they have come to meet you and now you have gone away and they are intensely searching for you. And in that intensity, if they see both of us together, they might misunderstand and they might actually become jealous. Right? This is a very important thing that and then Radharani says, so you please leave me alone and you can disappear. So Krishna disappears and Radharani is sitting in the rock and she's weeping. So when the gopis come, she says, oh, what happened? What happened? So she says, oh, I became very proud. I told Krishna to carry me. And then I became very much proud. So Krishna left. But what she is indicating is to the gopis that when the gopis became very proud that only Krishna is with me, that's when Krishna left. So now she gives one of the most important instructions. The gopi says, okay, let's follow him into the forest. And then Radharani says, no, just by following like this, it is very, very dark. Going inside and inside, you will not be able to get Krishna. So what do we do? Radharani says, let's go back to the bank of Yamuna. So they come all the way back. Come to the banks of Yamuna, they sit down and then Radharani trains them. Without as much, she says that let's sing. They start singing about Krishna and they start enacting the pastimes of Krishna. And like that in separation, when they are calling out to Krishna in a very deep, intense way, then and they are almost imitating all the pastimes of Krishna and they're fully Krishna conscious or their hearts are so much in union with Krishna, then the external separation disappears and Krishna comes as Sakshat Manmada Manma, the Cupid among the Cupids, king of the Cupids. So this intensification by separation was very important. And then, of course, not just this separation. After that, Raslila, then Krishna leaves for 100 years. So gopis are constantly meditating, and then, oh, I have lost Krishna, I have lost Krishna. And that intense meditation then condenses the prema, and that makes them eligible to enter Golok. Because here they are entering the pastimes in this material world where Krishna is doing the pastimes. And after this intense pastimes, when the prema becomes condensed, they can enter Golok. So this separation is very much required to intensify the love of Krishna. In fact, in one of the lectures in Vrindavan, I think Govardhan, I think Sriman Adipurush, he was giving this lecture, he was saying that he had shown 3 sine waves, like 3 hills. And he said that devotee also goes through this. initially when the devotee takes to Krishna consciousness, there is Utsahamai Bhakti. He's very enthusiastic. Everything is new, prasadam, dancing, ye, wo, kirtan. And then very enthusiastically he climbs and he starts doing so many activities of Krishna consciousness. But after a few years, the initial enthusiasm, the Utsahamai starts to settle down. Then he feels that Krishna consciousness is a bit of a drag. And then it starts coming down the hill and almost reaches a point where he or she is not sure. That's because the dust and everything is getting churned. Not very sure whether this is what I need to be doing, and in fact gets into a bit of a depressed state sometimes. And from there, if he continues to associate with very senior Vaishnavas and with continues to serve Guru Maharaj, then his enthusiasm comes back and he goes up, 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 and up. And he reaches a point where he has darshan of Krishna, or he almost has some association or some sort of glimpse of the bliss of seeing Krishna or being with Krishna. And at that point in time, he feels so much bliss having taken darshan of the Lord. And then you would believe at that point in time he's successful, but no, then Krishna disappears. And when Krishna disappears, again becomes so desperate, so despondent like Narad Muni became when Krishna disappeared from his heart, searching for Krishna. Oh, where is, because Krishna is so beautiful, after having seen him, you don't want anything else. So he's so desperately searching, and in that viraha becomes condensed consciousness, and when he starts serving in that separation, again goes up the hill, and finally he gets prema and enters the pastimes. So this three curves always happen, and it is always, there is a lot of this thing, and then there is viraha, and there is a lot of condensing of the heart. So here we can see the same thing happening, similar thing happening, where the devotees are so eager to see the Lord, and the Lord has now disappeared, and they are so eager, but the Lord has disappeared, like Mataji said, to increase the intensification of the desire. And like Radharani could be accused of stealing the Lord, here Vidya Vachaspati is also accused of hiding the Lord and not being, and these people not able to get darshan of the Lord. But luckily, this is going to be resolved, as we will see in the further slokas. Of course, in the next set of slokas, but today we will see this lamentation. Text 364. Keha bale sujanira yei dharma haya sabara udara kare hayya sadaya. Someone said it is the duty of pious people to compassionately deliver everyone. And we'll talk about Srimad Bhagavatam 3.4.25. Text 365. Apanara bala hao yei te jana dekhe sujana apana chadiyo para rakhe. Only ordinary people desire their own benefit, while a pious person sacrifices life to deliver others. Keha bale vidyabara mishta dravya ani eka upa bhoga kele aparadha gani. Someone else said, even in ordinary dealings, it is an offense to buy sweets and enjoy them alone. Eta mishta tribhuvane ati anupama ekeshwaraya ki karite achepana. The Lord's sweetness is incomparable within the three worlds. Should one relish such sweetness alone? Keha bale viprakuchu kapata hridaya para upakarya tata nahe sadaya. Another person said the Brahmana is somewhat deceitful. It does not have compassion to help others. Eke vachaspati dukhi prabhu ravi rahe aro sarve loke o durjayavani kahe. Vachaspati was already unhappy because of separation from the Lord, and then people began to speak harsh words against him. The phrase Durjayavani means unbearable words. Duimate dukhi vipra parama udhara na janena kona mate haya pratikara. That magnanimous Brahmana was distressed in two ways, so he did not know what to do. Right? Till 370. Now you will see here that there are three levels of, or three different things that is happening. Three kind of accusations are happening. What are the three? One, a Brahmana is accused of life, right? Second, a Vaishnava is accused of not being compassionate. These are all, contradictory things. A Brahmana always is mostly truthful. Vaishnava is always compassionate. And then a preacher is accused of stopping them from approaching Guru or the Lord. The job of a preacher or a counselor is always to preach to the people and take them towards Guru or the Lord, right? And here a preacher is accused of actually hiding the Lord and not allowing them to see the Lord, right? Now, these three are very, very intense accusations, right? Again, what pastimes can we remember when a Brahmana is accused of not being truthful? What are the pastimes? Anybody? Of course, one powerful pastime is the pastime of Sakshi Gopal himself. From, when two Brahmanas from south of India, Vidyanagar, Orissa and beyond, they travel all around. They go to Gaya, Kashi, and the younger Brahmana serves the older Brahmana very nicely. Finally, they go to Vrindavan and they are seeing the Gopal deity. And Gopal deity is so beautiful that they stay in the same temple for many days. And the younger Brahmana is serving the older Brahmana. And then the older Brahmana becomes, yes, Bandhu Mant was very nice. The younger Brahmana becomes so, the older Brahmana becomes so enhanced that he says that I will give you my daughter in marriage. You have done so wonderful service. But the younger one says, no, your people will not agree. I am an uneducated poor person. He says, no, nobody can change the mind. He said, make a promise. So they make a promise before the deity. The younger Brahmana says, deity, you are the witness. You will have to do the witness. And then finally, after some days, the older Brahmana goes to the village and the younger Brahmana comes to the village asking for the hand. And then all the relatives says, you cannot give this, uneducated person your daughter. So the son of the older Brahmana refuses. He tells him to keep quiet and he threatens this younger Brahmana away. So the younger Brahmana calls all the villagers, and in front of the villagers, the older Brahmana's son says that he has stolen the money of my father and he's lying. After stealing the money, he is now coming with this lie for stealing further money that he has been promised that my sister or the daughter of the older Brahmana. Now, this accusation really stings him. As a Brahmana, he cannot take this accusation that he is lying and he is a thief. He's a very honest Brahmana. So he says that we had made the promise in front of Gopal, and Gopal is the witness. When the village people ask, is there a witness? He says, Gopal is the witness. So even the older Brahmana agrees, but the older Brahmana also, actually, he doesn't want to lie. His desire is also that this daughter should be married to this person because he sees that if he is a devotee, he will take care very nicely. Of course, other things are required, but a devotee is the best choice. So he agrees, yes, we had made a promise. But if you can get Gopal as the witness, then I am ready to give this daughter. Because he knows there is so much resistance. And he also knew, he had prayed to the Lord that please don't make me a liar. Please help me fulfill the promise. And this younger Brahmana is also praying, don't make me a liar. As a Brahmana, I cannot bear that I am a liar. So he goes all the way to Vrindavan and he tells Gopal that you are the witness, you need to come. Now Gopal says that, have you heard of a deity who walks? Then the Brahman replies, if you can talk, you can also walk. Come. Gopal says, okay, but you don't turn around and see, I will come. So he goes all the way from Vrindavan till outside of Puri. And when outside the village, the younger Brahmana just turns to check Then the Gopal smilingly stands there and says, go. So he says, I will stay here, I will not come in. So he goes, rushes to the villagers, all the villagers come. When they see Gopal, they fall at his feet, and with the witness of the deity, they give the daughter in hand in marriage. Now here, Lord Gopal himself, understanding the pain of the Brahmana who's been accused of lie, and obviously it is the pastime orchestrated by the Lord himself to bring the Lord to Vidyanagar and Sakshi Gopal. Similarly, you will see here that in the future verses, Vidyavachaspati is going to request the Lord that I've been accused as liar. Please, if you can come and give darshan when they reach Kulia. So to sanctify Kulia Gram, and you will see at the end of the pastime that to deliver all the sinners, all the type of sinners in Kulia Gram, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is engaging in this pastime so that he gives darshan in Kulia Gram to everybody. Kulia Gram is a place where all the sinners, medium, low, high sinners, all the three types as described in Chaitanya Bhagavata are delivered. So Krishna does these pastimes. Sometimes his devotees are accused. But in doing so, he delivers and, like Mataji said, glorifies everybody. Draupadi is accused. Yudhishthira is accused. And a great fight happens, but he delivers everybody. So this is one instance where, Brahmana is accused of lying, and the Lord himself appears. And it is all orchestrated by the Lord for special pastime. In fact, I have quoted many times, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj has said that there are some situations which you understand, the Lord understands, but the devotees don't understand. Right? The devotees sometimes accuse you. This are some unique situation when the Lord is using you in His service. So it does happen the devotees also misunderstand. Right? So this is one such situation where Vidyavachaspati is being misunderstood. Though he's a Brahmana, he is truthful, but he's been accused of hiding the Lord, which is also because of the eagerness of the devotees to see the Lord. Sometimes gopis also, say such harsh words. The other situation is a Vaishnava is being accused of being not compassionate. Right? Here is a Vaishnava, and that is also one of the verses. They say, why are you, how can you be like this, only tasting the sweetness by yourself? How is that you are keeping this entire compassion to yourself? Why are you not letting us to be, right? A Vaishnava means he's always compassionate. A Vaishnava is essentially, his whole life is for compassion. That is what Srimad Bhagavatam says. That verse that was indicated there, what it says is that it is Vidura speaking to Uddhava. And Vidura speaking to Uddhava, he says that oh my Lord, he's praying to Uddhava, that Vaishnavas are moving around only for this compassion. Vaishnavas are moving around only to talk about the Lord and deliver the sinful people, give them compassion so that they can come back to Krishna consciousness, come back to the Lord. They are actually sharing the heart of Radharani. And the gopis also say, Tava katamritam tatta jivanam kavibiriditam kalmashapa Shravana mangalam shrimata tatam bhuvi grinanti ye bhuritajan. So glorious are those who, when the heart is burning in separation, the fire of separation, they are narrating the pastimes of the Lord and they are pouring the nectar into the heart. Of course, material people are, the fire of material desires are burning, and for the devotees, the fire of separation is burning. And this Katamrita is the right nectar which satisfies that. So Vaishnavas are always compassionate. So Vaishnavas are moving around. So Vidura is telling to Uddhava that is the reason why Vaishnavas are moving around. Now I have met a Vaishnava like you. So why would you keep all the compassion in your heart? You will naturally share it with me. So please share it with me. Because Uddhava has already heard from Krishna, and Krishna has given all the messages to Uddhava. So similarly here, the people are requesting, oh, you are a Vaishnava, you should share the compassion, but they are accusing that you are actually being non-compassionate. You are stealing our Lord. You are stealing our love. Srila Prabhupada was also accused like this. When he brought so many hippies into Krishna consciousness, the parents of these people, these devotees, they accused Srila Prabhupada of stealing their children. And they actually accused that, are you not compassionate? Can you not understand the heart of a parent? You are stealing you are actually brainwashing our children and making them into brahmacharis and brahmacharinis. So are you not compassionate? But actually, and they even did a case of brainwashing. A lot of people were reverse brainwashed. There are so much things that happened in ISKCON. But Srila Prabhupada, ultimately it was Prabhupada's compassion. What seemed like he's taking away the children, they were actually delivering the children to their ultimate parents. They were separated from Krishna and Radharani, and he delivered them to Krishna and Radharani, and doing so also delivered all the parents and made them eternally be with Krishna and their children. So Vaishnava was ultimately very compassionate, but it seems like he was not compassionate. Bhishma also was accused of not being compassionate when Draupadi was being mishandled in the Kaurava Sabha. Right? But Bhishma knew what Krishna was trying to do. Neither Yudhishthira, neither Bhishma, nobody saved, and Krishna himself came and saved. Similarly, Sripad Ramanujacharya, when his guru told him that this is a secret mantra, don't tell anybody, right? And if you tell, you will go to hell. Then he climbed on the top of the Gopura of Tirukoshtiyur, and he loudly announced that you chant this mantra Om Namo Narayana and all of you will go back to Vaikuntha. Then when he came down, his guru, to test him, accused, you have broken the promise and I told you not to do, but you broke that promise. So now you will go to hell. He said, he showed the ultimate compassion of Vaishnava. He said, if one person goes to hell and if all of these people are delivered, what is the loss? And seeing the compassionate heart, his guru completely absolved and accepted him, because that is the heart of a Vaishnava. Now that heart is being now accused of being not compassionate and actually hiding the Lord. The whole purpose of Vidyavachaspati, to make the Lord stay, is for the Lord to get association of the Lord, the people to get association of the Lord, and for everybody to be happy. But now, as a Vaishnava, he is accused of being not compassionate. And then we'll also see that one of the most difficult thing, it happens in ISKCON very much, is when a preacher or a counselor is accused of not giving them access to Guru or Krishna. It so happens many times we are in such services where Guru Maharaj comes or some sannyasi comes and there are these disciples and they have to stop other devotees. Oh, no, you cannot see Maharaj now. Maharaj is taking rest or Maharaj is busy in some other meeting, class. You cannot see them now. They are come so eagerly because they want to share something or they have some problems or they want to ask for initiation or their children, they want to do annaprashan. So they come very eagerly, but the devotees sometimes to stop. And sometimes it becomes very heated in that exchange. That, oh, you are stopping us from meeting Guru Maharaj, right? On the other hand, the servants of Maharaj have this duty to keep Maharaj healthy and give him rest, give him proper prasadam, proper time, because doctors have told you have to give them proper rest. And here thousands of people are there to meet him, right? So this usually happens. Or sometimes it also happens, some of the counselee will come to the counselor or the preacher and say, because the initiation is getting delayed, and somebody else has got initiated, sometimes in heat, I've heard this multiple times, they say, oh, you are stopping my initiation. You are not putting my form forward, you are not. And that is a very big hurt for a preacher. The devotee does not consider that Krishna is increasing his intensifying his desire, right? But at the same time, accuses somebody else of stopping him from reaching Guru. In fact, when I was giving a class in Mexico, a Mexico City temple, after I finished the class, people were coming to meet and also discuss some questions, because after the class, it has gone on. And one senior person came to me and he almost was in a very tearful condition. He says, why do you are talking about so much of mercy, Vaishnava, and so on and so forth? Why do some of these devotees stop other devotees from getting initiated? Then I said, Prabhu, what happened? He said, Prabhu, I was in the same temple 50 years ago, and Prabhupada was handing out the initiation beads, right? And I was in line, and devotee in front of me got initiated, second one, third one, then my turn came, third and fifth one, then my turn came. And when I came and I was almost this far away from receiving the bead, one of the senior disciples of Prabhupada, I won't name, he said, Prabhupada, no, he's not ready. Do not give him, right? And he pulled him aside. He said, till today, I have not taken initiation. If it was not for that Prabhu, I would have been a Prabhupada disciple, right? Now it's very intense, right? Very intense. I didn't know what to say. So I told him from the 11th canto. He said, I will read the 11th canto. He said, what? He said, Krishna took all his Dwarkavasis with him, but he left Uddhava. Seemingly, Krishna was not compassionate on Uddhava. But Uddhava asked that why am I being left alone? And Krishna gave him all the mercy and all the knowledge. He said, you have to now take this to Badrikashram, to all the sages who are there, take this to Vrindavan, and in doing so, he will associate with gopis and get a higher gopi bhava, right? So when Krishna has a special service like that, then he usually does this. So please meditate not on why that devotee stopped you, but meditate on what is Krishna's mercy, that he wants you to be part of a very lot more glorious pastime. What is that service that he wants you to do? Right? And if you meditate on that, then you will forget this resentment and you can take initiation and go forward. So he met me the next day and he said he was far more composed. And he said that, yes, I am beginning to contemplate that it is not that Vaishnavas do not have compassion, right? But Krishna has a special purpose at hand, right? So there are these situations where a Brahmana is accused of lying, a Vaishnava is accused of not being compassionate, a preacher is accused of stopping initiation, right? So there are all of these things that are happening. And as that is happening, you could see from that devotee's point of view, his heart is churning. His heart is churning, and every time, like Mataji said, there is some glory that is going to happen. There is some higher realization. Everything Krishna does or Yogamaya arranges is for the love to intensify and to get higher and higher and higher realization, which means we are coming closer and closer and closer to Krishna. Or we are becoming more and more bonded with Krishna, more in love with Krishna. Yudhishthira Maharaj was suffering like that in this heart when he saw that because of him, so many people have got killed. And like Vidyavachaspati, he was so much lamenting. And even all the sages made him understand, Krishna made him understand, but even after Krishna preaching to him, he did not agree. So then Krishna said, you go and speak to Bhishma Dev. And that is the days we are now going through in Bhishma Pancham. where Bhishma Dev then spoke to him that, look, everything is because of a deeper purpose of the Lord. So you don't take it upon yourself and unnecessarily become worried. And in doing so, he could see, Yudhishthira could understand the greater purpose. And one could see the glory of Bhishma Dev also. It is glorious to be on the side of Krishna and do the pastime. But it is very, very difficult, even more glorious, or it is very difficult to be opposite to the side of Krishna and do the pastime. Right? Which Bhishma Dev, Dronacharya, which many people did. Right? Even Duryodhana, if you know the pastime. So many of Balram's devotees take that situation of being against Krishna, but still doing the service of what Krishna wanted, to deliver all these people. And Bhishma Dev himself killed 10,000 people and delivered everybody in front of Krishna because of Krishna's presence. So this churning of the heart happens, right? Gopis were on one hand suffering from the separation of Krishna because he had gone to Mathura. On the other hand, all the Brajvasis were speaking ill of them. Oh, they were dancing in the night, they were doing this. So there were so many things being spoken. So they were suffering from the separation and they were suffering from ill words of Jatila and Kutila and so on. That is also something as a gopi. Some people say Vidya Vachaspati is Lavanga Manjari, somebody says Tunga Vidya, Prabodhanand Maharaj is Tunga Vidya. So there are many references, but either way, in this Gopi Manjari form, he is going through that entire dual, and that's what the sloka says. He's going through the dual suffering of one being, separated from Krishna, and the other that he's falsely being accused from that point. So these are some of the things that are happening in this pastime, and we'll quickly read the other verses. And then when this suffering reaches its intensity, then Krishna makes Krishna intervenes and he resolves it. How he resolves it, let's see this. Text 368. Text 371. Hena samayeka asiya brahmana vachaspati karna mule kahila vachana. At that time, a brahmana came and whispered something in Vachaspati's ear. Caitanya Gosani Gela Kuliya Nagara Eve Ye Yayataha Karaha Satvara. Lord Chaitanya has gone to the village of Kuliya. Now you quickly do whatever is necessary. That is the most important thing. The phrase Ye Yuya means whatever is considered reasonable. So now the devotee has to act. You do whatever is reasonable. Suni Matra Vachaspati, text 373. Suni Matra Vachaspati Parama Santoshe Brahmanera Alingana Dilena Harishe. As soon as Vachaspati heard this news, he became greatly pleased and joyfully embraced that Brahmana. Katashane Ayilena Sarvaloka Yatasa Bari Asi Kahilena Gopya Katha. He immediately went before the people and informed them of the confidential news. Thomarasakara loka tattva na janiya dosha mamiya tui chai lokiya. Without knowing the actual truth, you all accused me of hiding the Lord. Ebe sunila prabhu kuliya nagare achena asiya kahilena dvijavare. Now I have come to know that Lord is in Kuliya. This best of the Brahmanas has come and told me. सबे चला यदि सत्य है ये वचना तबे से हमारे सबे बलिहा brahmana. Let us all go. If this information is correct, you should accept me as a brahmana. सर्वलोक हरि बलि वाचस्पति संगे सही सणे सभी चली लेना महारंगे. In great joy, everyone chanted the name of Hari and immediately departed with Vachaspati. Kuliya nagare ay lena nyasi mani sahi shane sarva dikhe haila mahadwani. Immediately the news spread in all directions. The crest jewel of sannyasis has gone to Kuliya. Sabe Ganga Madhya Nadiya Kuliya Suni Matra Sarva Loka Mahanande Dhyaya. Only the Ganges lay between Nadiya and Kuliya. Hearing the news, everyone rushed towards Kuliya in great ecstasy. Only the Ganges separated the ancient Nadi from Kuliya. To reach Kulia from Sri Mayapur, one has to cross the Ganges one, and to reach Vidyavachaspati's house from Kulia, one has to cross the Ganges again. Cross the Ganges. Because to go to Vidyanagara from Sri Mayapur, there was only one path through dense forest. Rather than cross the Ganga 2 times, one could reach Vachaspati's house by another road that passed by Visharadhara's Dham. There. In the Chaitanya Bhagavata-Antya Kanta 5.709, it is stated, Gangara upara kabu ayena kuliya. Nityananda sometimes visited Kulia on the other side of the Ganges. We'll speak about this. Vachaspati gramite yatiye loka chila tara koti koti gune sakala badila. The number of people coming from Vachaspati's village multiplied millions of times by the time they reached Kulia. So here we are seeing that the Lord is intervening to resolve. Which are the other pastimes? Like this, there was intense desire to see the Lord, and the Lord intervened. Rukmini Devi had given the love letter to a Brahmana. Her brother Rukmi was, impressing upon his dad to get her married to Shishupal, and the entire marriage was being arranged. She wanted to marry Krishna. She had heard about Krishna from Narad Muni, and she had written the letter. And now in this political situation, you give the letter to anybody, if he reveals, it becomes a full problem for the entire nation, for her chastity, everything. She needed somebody whom she can trust, that how much our money is given, how much our he is killed, he will not reveal. She gave it to a Brahmana. Yes, Raghunath Das Goswami also, yes, very nice. She gave it to a Brahmana. And the Brahmana went and he read the letter in front of the Lord. Shrutvan gunan bhuvana sundaran shrunuvatam te nirvishya karna vivarai harato angatapam rupam drisham drishimatam akhilarthalabam tvayi achyuta vishati chittam apatrapam me tvayi achyuta vishati chittam. Now, how did my chitta is completely in you? How? Because Shrutvan Gunan Bhuvana Sundar. I heard about your beauty, not on Facebook, Instagram, but I heard it from the mouth of a pure devotee. Shrutvan Gunan Bhuvana Sundara. Oh, the beauty of the world, or the most beautiful in the world, or the one due to which the entire world gets beauty, Bhuvana Sundara. Shrunuvatamte. How nirvishya karna vivaraya. I completely kept my ear. And that means the chitta is completely, when the chitta is stable, then you can completely hear. Nirvishya karna vivarai harato angatapam. The entire heat of all material desire, everything is gone. Harato angatapam, all the heat of the senses. The moment this hit the chitta, Radharani also says, Rupa Goswami sloka, Tunde Tandavanim Ratim Vitanute, Tundavalim Labdaye, Karna Krodakadambinim Gatayate, Karna Budebhyas Praham, Cheta Prangana Sanginim Vijete, Sarvendriyanam Prati, No Jane Janitakiya Viramratai, Krishneti Varnadvai. Krishneti Varnadvai. When it goes inside and touches the prangan of the heart, which is the chitta, sarvendriyanam kriti, all the indriyas become stunned. So, harato angatapam, rupam drisham drishimatam akhilarthalabam. Then I could see your form, nama rupa guna lila. Tvayi achyuta vishati chittam apatrapam me. So my heart, now this is love letter, which attracts the Lord. It is not normal love letter. Oh, I know you are very beautiful. I want to see you. I want to marry you. No, that is not love letter. This is the love letter that attracts the Lord. When a devotee's chitta is completely infested in the Lord, and the Lord is appeared in the chitta by hearing from the mouth of a pure devotee like Narad. That is what attracts Krishna. But the morning came, Krishna has not come. She's waiting for the Brahmana, waiting for the Brahmana. She's getting more anxious, more anxious. Even Rukmani is going through the pastime. She's eternal consort. But she's showing how a devotee, she's also in that rasa she's enjoying, like Pralananda Prabhu said, that they enjoy all the kind of rasa. So this vira rasa, this anticipation, is Krishna going to come or is he not going to come? Has he rejected? I am going to live my life and another 1,000 lifetimes I'm going to just hanker for Krishna if he till he accepts me. So and where is the Brahmana? Has he not been truthful? Has he not given the letter? So many lamentations are there. And that is how the hearts are churning as all of these people are going towards Kuliya. And then the Brahmana comes and he gives Krishna's reply. So Krishna has come, Krishna is in such and such a place. Now you can go out and you can go and see Krishna. You can go to the temple to worship Parvati, and then Krishna will come. So when that Brahmana gives that message, the heart becomes so fulfilled, all the lamentation is taken away. Then she, in that joy, she proceeds towards worshipping their Kuladevi. So like that here, Vidya Vachaspati heart is churning, all the people's heart is churning, and this Brahmana comes and gives the wonderful news. And then everybody becomes enlivened and they are going to meet Mahaprabhu in Kuliyagram. Kuliyagram is a special place where all the sins of different people are going to be taken away by the darshan of the Supreme Personality by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the unique Sankirtan is going to happen there. You will see all of this, but only what lies between Navdeep and Kuliya, the Ganges. The water from the lotus feet of the Lord, which will wash away all these sins. Already this Viraha is washing away everything. And now they take the dip, and it is described like one goes from the material world. After this Viraha, one goes from this material world through the Viraja Nadi and enters Vaikunta. Similarly, the people are going to cross over now through the Ganges and go to Kuliya, where they are going to have the darshan of the Lord. And that pastime is also very wonderful. Many Maharajas have described the very wonderful lectures of how people have crossed over this Ganges in Kuliya, and nobody had any difficulty, nobody sank, nobody drowned. And even though millions of people came, millions of boats sunk, you will see that pastime in the next few verses. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Goswami Maharaj describes how it is just across, and 2 times you have to cross the Ganges, but instead you can take a road through Visharad's dam, father, and then you can reach this Vidyadhar's house. So now hearing this news, millions and millions of people are now crowding, and they are going to cross the Ganges, and in intense separation, in ecstasy, they are going to And in intense ecstasy, they are going to go and see Mahaprabhu, which you will see in the future verses. So today we have sort of discussed various aspects, the emotional aspects, the intellectual aspects, the Brahmanical ego aspects. We have also seen how the Lord intensifies the desire by disappearing. We also have seen how he intensifies the devotee by sometimes putting them through this kind of a situation. We have seen the situations where sometimes you understand, Krishna understand, but devotees don't understand. We've also seen how a Brahmana is accused of being a liar, Vaishnava is accused of being non-compassionate, and preacher is accused of stopping the connection with the Lord or the initiation. And how the heart of Vidyapati churned in the dual emotions of viraha, of missing the Lord, of separation from the Lord, and this all the accusations which are happening. And how the Brahmana, by Lord's intervention, when this reaches the peak, the Lord sends his messenger and devotee. And that's what happens to every devotee. When your desire for meeting the Lord intensifies, then Guru comes into your life and gives the message for where to find the Lord. And that message was given by the Brahmana, like the Brahmana gave message to Rukmani, and everybody is now heading by crossing over the Viraja, by bathing in the Ganges, being fully purified, they are going to go to see the Lord in Kulia. So this is a very wonderful pastime. I'm really thankful that we could join and discuss different pastimes in this entire thing. A very intense, very wonderful pastime. So if ever devotees come across that situation, we can be careful not to accuse the other devotee, not to be, in our intensity to meet Krishna, not to get what you said, not to vilify some other devotee, and to understand Krishna's intense arrangement for increasing our intensity of the heart and ultimately attaining Krishna consciousness or Krishna prema. Thank you very much. I'm very thankful to all of you for the association and this opportunity to speak on this wonderful verse. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj. Chaitanya Bhagavata.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing such beautiful realization, beautiful insights on these verses. Really grateful to you, Prabhu. Like the way you churn these verses in so many ways really makes us understand that how the things are happening. Of course, this is a pastime, but eventually we can also relate it to our life and we can understand and see Krishna's hand. Like I was thinking, I don't know, I was thinking on the side of those people who were unnecessary cursing with their Vachaspati, like being a miser, not being a Vaishnava, not being compassionate at heart. Like this is also kind of a life lesson that unnecessary, we should not try to judge anybody.
Yes.
Right? Step into the shoes of others and see how they are going through. Like Vachaspati was not even he didn't even know that Mahaprabhu has left because Mahaprabhu just left in night along with Nityananda Prabhu.
Correct.
So and people are unnecessary. Okay, he took it in a positive form, in a positive sense. He didn't take it, he didn't get offended. But the point is that what lessons we can learn is unnecessary. We should not pass comments on others, just hearing one side of the story, not knowing the whole scenario.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So many things. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Thank you for the wonderful session.
Very wonderful. Very wonderful.
Yes, dear devotees, if anybody has any questions, any comments. Okay, Sunil Prabhu is asking the same. Prabhuji, is it not an offense when Navadvipasis were accusing Vidya Vachaspati? So if you can throw some light, Prabhu.
So sometimes this kind of intense exchange happens between devotees. Now, and perhaps before even I answer the question whether it is an offense or not, the same Chaitanya Charitamrita also warns us that when there are such intense discussion between devotees, if you take one side or the other, then you will be destroyed. Right?
Okay.
So this, sorry?
I'm saying so true.
Yes. So this happened in the exchange between Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu when they were going to preach to Jagai and Madai. And you can see this joking exchange, this so-called intense exchange where Haridas Thakur said, if I go with you, you are the Avatuta. If I go with you, I will get beaten because Jagai and Madai are chasing them and they are running away. And he seemingly is accusing Nityananda Prabhu of being a madman. But at the same time, he's actually praising, right, Nityananda Prabhu. Right? So there it is warned that you cannot take one side or the other. But perhaps because this question will come is why right after this pastime, after the kirtan and after everything, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sitting in the Kuliya Gram, one Brahmana comes and falls at the feet of, and you will read in the further verses, falls at the feet of Mahaprabhu and says, "Oh Mahaprabhu, I have committed a great offense. I used to say, who can become a Vaishnava in Kali Yuga? What is this Sankirtana? This is all false pretense. And like this, I accused and I have committed great offense against the Vaishnavas. Now what should I do? How can I get rid of the offense?" This pastime happens just after Mahaprabhu gives darshan in Kuli and he sits down after the Sankirtan. So maybe this question was there. So Mahaprabhu has enacted the answer for that also. And then Mahaprabhu says, if the same mouth by which you have had poison, you should have Amrit. So the same mouth you have accused these devotees, you have to glorify these devotees, right? So, and that is what I think will happen also. When Vidya Vachaspati brings Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in front of them, all the devotees will start to glorify. And for us, we can glorify. We neither take this side or that side. We glorify that these are so wonderful devotees who are actually seeing the Lord, right? And they are so wonderful. And it's their intensity of love which is making them speak these words. So actually, we don't see them as offenders. We see their intensity of love. Like sometimes the gopis accuse Krishna, they abuse Krishna. You are a liar, you don't come. These are the intensity of the love which they are expressing. Krishna likes to hear this abuses more than the glorification of the Vedas. If I can take one more minute, this actually defines the character of a person when you are accused, right? How do you understand? And even in Grihastha life and beyond, it is said, I don't know whether it is in Valmiki Ramayana, but it is there. Lord Ram gets up in the morning, gets ready, and he gets the message that Kaikeyi has called him. He goes with a smile, enters Kaikeyi's palace, where Kaikeyi says, you cannot become the king, you have to go into the forest. And with the same smile, he comes back. Right? It describes in Valmiki Ramayana, the smile with which he goes, the same smile, he's coming back. And he enters, and when he comes to Sita's palace, he tells Sita, please take care of the parents, please serve them very well, and be happily in this palace. And then I will just go now for 14 years and I'll come back. Sita says, no, I will come with you. He says, no, this forest, and you cannot come there. And anyway, the rule is for me, not for you. So I will go and come back immediately. Now, at that moment, for somebody who is already undergoing this turmoil of losing his kingdom and his father being this thing, and for somebody who's a Kshatriya, who's of so much valor, Sita says the words, my father made a big mistake. He thought you are lion among men. You are actually Enuj, Hijra. She says, because you are, my father told me always protect her, always keep her by the side. And now you are like not even a man or a woman, you are like an Enuj. You are leaving me now. Now, at this intense situation, and especially if a lady says this word, because it goes right to the heart, right? Anybody else would have immediately got angry, right? Because they are looking at the words. They are hearing the words, it's hurting. Lord Ram paused, he smiled, and he understood the emotion behind the words, the intensity of love that Sita had in speaking those words. And he didn't say anything. He said, okay, you come with me, right? So that is the quality that we need to develop, that even in this accusation, we keep calm and we see the plan of the Lord. Of course, a very difficult thing. Unless we are saturated with Krishna's love, it becomes very difficult. And Yudhishthira Maharaj did that when he was accused. All the Pandavas, Bhima and Arjuna could not control them, but Yudhishthira Maharaj he knew there is some plan of Krishna. So in that game of dice, when they lost everything. So Sunil Prabhu, to your question, I think we just glorify these devotees, the ones who are accusing, the one Vidya Vachaspati who is listening. Both of them we glorify because they're ultimately meeting the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They're meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I hope that answers. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Very
Okay.
wonderful.
Anybody else has any questions? Yes, Nutan Maharaj. Please go.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, one more question has increased now. Actually, when you're telling this pastime of Sita Maya and Ramji, that time temporarily Ramji has forgotten it, and then during the end of Ramayana also, he shows Sita Maya. Now you see, it's like that. Uh, so is it there?
When you
When
say
he's
it is,
trying to kill Ravana, he waits till Sita Maya comes or sees when
see,
he's aiming the bow, or it is
sees
told.
what?
I'm unable to recollect properly.
No, I think there the part, if I understand correctly, he's cutting one head of Ravan, and Vibhishan says by cutting the head, you cannot. The head will grow up. You have to aim at the heart, right? But in the heart, Sita ji is there because Ravan's always thinking about Sita, right? Because his whole plan was to abduct Sita, right? So materially, he's thinking of Sita. So what happens? I think who remembers that pastime when for a moment something happens and Ravana forgets about that, and at that moment he shoots the arrow and takes the heart. That is one part. Is that what you're referring to? I don't know. Or you are saying,
No, 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 not that, Prabhuji. For this particular statement only, which Sita Maya had said to Ram,
then I'm
that
killing Ravana.
particular, uh, while
That's
killing
my
Ravan, that
prowess.
time, uh,
That see my
to
prowess now.
exhibit that.
Yeah, exhibit the
Yeah,
prowess.
to exhibit that.
Very wonderful. Very wonderful. Yes, that is the prowess of a Kshatriya, prowess of a man. You know, that is very nice. I haven't heard that. I'll have to refer, but I think that sounds very, possibly very correct.
It's there, Prabhuji, it's there. But I was like, did Ramji temporarily forget it? Okay, yeah, you will have to refer it, you said, Prabhuji. But okay, yeah.
No, but I think it is not ever. First is the reaction at that point in time, right? There are
Thank
two
you.
parts there. First is the reaction at this point in time when he understands. If we can learn from that, and we cannot go by the words, but the emotion behind that words, I think a lot of our problems in life will get solved. Not just the emotion, but understand Lord's purpose behind that entire thing. Then most of our problems will get solved. Second, he is the Lord, right? He is a Kshatriya. He could never have. Uh, on one end, he saw the love, but on the other hand, he will square it up, right? He will show his prowess, and his prowess will not be tainted by any such words. So while killing Ravana, he will see my prowess, right? And my power to see so then obviously everybody can understand that he is not somebody who is a coward. So Krishna also resolves this prowess, right? He runs away from the battlefield as Rancho, but then he shows his prowess of shifting everybody from Dwarka, everybody Mathura to Dwarka. So Krishna doesn't leave that out. He gives enough opportunity for atheists to criticize, right? But if especially his devotee has said something, he always squares it up, right? And that is what you are saying. So very wonderful, Pastor. Very wonderful. So it is not that
Yes, Prabhuji.
it's not that he kept it in his heart and then he went and proved himself. No, it is just that that particular devotee's word, he always squares it up. The gopis also said that you cannot understand our heart, right? That is in Andal's pastime. Manati Kiniyane. So they say Lord Ram understands the heart of a woman. You cannot understand, right? But then when he delivers all of them, he actually reveals that why he was doing all of this pastime, which is there in Lagu Bhagavatam and all of that. So yes. So it is not because that he just remembered it later he should, but it is he squares it up, if you understand what I'm saying.
His reaction at that moment is what we should try to bring in our lives. How do we maintain that composure, Prabhuji?
Yes, the
The
answer to
way,
all of that is if we chant and if the holy name is hitting the heart, there is so much of it becomes wet and it doesn't catch fire easily, right? And if that chanting it is not making your heart soft and wet, it can catch fire because all the material elements are there. It is very hard, and the dry wood always catches fire very fast. The wet wood does not. So the same thing, we don't have to do anything different, but we have to do the same thing slightly more deeply and with more of the same hearing, and we have to take it to the chitta. Same service, we have to do as an offering to our Guru Maharaj. And then the heart becomes very soft, and then this material world cannot ignite the fire very easily.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. And one more realization which I had in class today is that we should contemplate what, supposingly something doesn't happen according to our desires, we start blaming others, which is incorrect. We should instead contemplate on what Krishna wants us to do, what service he wants us to do on that. So that was a very nice takeaway for me. Thank you
Yes,
very much,
it's
Prabhuji.
very wonderful. And I'm so happy to have such nice, wonderful devotees who are churning this. Because if you can see Krishna behind, you might not always understand what Krishna wants, but if you can see Krishna behind all activities and at least be calm that there is some plan of Krishna, then, always, like you said, the person will be glorified at the end. Thank you so much.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhu. May I? Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Very enlightening class today. And just now what you said to Mataji is about, how Lord Krishna can help us to overcome this, our Bhagavatam says, Sranvatam Sraddhaya Nityam Gurunate Satchestitam Pravishta Kana Randrena Svana Bhav Sarvam Dunoti Samalam Krishna Salilasya Jatha Sarat. So our duty is to do Chestitam and hear Krishna Katha. Then he will enter, will replace Paramatma and clean our Samalam. This is what I understood.
Very wonderful.
Very well.
Very nice. Very nice. It's always a pleasure to be among devotees to churn. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Bhakti Sabha, Sakhi Singha, Japa Group, and all the Matajis who are organizing this. This is a wonderful churning. We are almost in Antya Leela. We have 7 more chapters to go. So it is always wonderful. All glories, all glories.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. So, okay, dear devotees, if we don't have any questions further, no realizations to share, then we can end the call. Prabhuji, with your permission, can we end? Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Let's pay our obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhais patitanam bhavanebhyo Vaishnavyo namo namo. Anantakot Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
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 Ki jai. His
Jai.
Achintya Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very wonderful session. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dear devotees, ending the call. See you all tomorrow. Hare Krishna.